And as you noted, Americans have been angry with China based on a host of different issues, everything from TikTok, spy balloon, everything in between over the past year. So, how has President Xi been received? You're our eyes on the ground. What can you tell us?
I'm the eyes on the ground here in a conference of business leaders. And so let me just acknowledge, first of all, this is a bit of a protected bubble, this Moscone Center, wherever it is. You walk outside and there's a lot of protesters, the majority of which are, pro-Palestine from what I've seen, but there are some that are also protesting China. That would, had the U.S. Had the situation with the Israel-Hamas war not taken place, there still would have been protesters, and probably there would have been more about China and some of the issues we've had there with human rights. So I think the mood with regard to Xi inside here is relatively positive because people want to engage with a stable China, and we want to exploit the opportunities in this region for more connections. That said, globalization's become a dirty word in general, and there's much more of a sense of what's happening on the ground. One of the biggest themes here is sustainability, and we've come through an incredible year of, climate trauma, I would say. That is a collective global problem, and China may be the world's biggest polluter, but it's also the world's biggest producer of a lot of the green clean tech, and they also have a lot of the stuff we need to create our own clean tech here in the US and electric vehicles. So I think on that level, there's an understanding that there are bigger problems, and it's good for the US and China to work together on those problems.
There's obviously a lot of sound bites, a lot of news coming out of APEC, but from you being there firsthand, do you think anything's really missing from the national conversation that we're not able to see over on the East Coast?
That's a good point, because I think, first of all, while this is look, I like APEC because of the access you get to policymakers. It's very unusual to have policymakers and public-private sector together on the same stage. That said, I think there is a missed opportunity here. East Coast, West Coast, whatever. It's a very US-centric conference, and I think the value of a place like this is also to listen and learn. And I wish there were more opportunities to listen and learn from the other players here, whether they're entrepreneurs, policymakers, big companies, small companies. I think that's the biggest missed opportunity because that is what APEC is about. Otherwise, it's just another tech conference where people can go in and out and they don't stick around. And I think there's a little bit of the buzz missing for that reason. At least when I talk to the attendees, especially from other countries, they're a little disappointed.